So we're here at the Marcus Evans Aerospace and Defense Summit. I'm with Alan Gipson, VP of Corporate Planning from Jamco. Alan, it's nice to have you again.
Yes, great to be here.
Thanks. So this is your third time with us.
Yes, correct. Third time.
Okay. So what makes our events stand out?
I think the combination of getting the content to get fresh ideas to take back to my company, get some outside insight into what we're doing at Jamco is very good. And then you couple that with the vendor meetings, which I think is a really quick and easy way to try to find some new people in the supply chain. And we're always looking for new suppliers as we grow the business.
Yeah, and from an overall program perspective, how has the program met your expectations? What are your overall thoughts?
Definitely meets my expectations. I like the presenters. In the past, I participated as a speaker and on the panels, and I think that also challenges me myself personally to get a little better, a little more in depth on a subject that I'm interested in. But then also to come here and learn about things that maybe I haven't even thought of, or more in depth than what we're thinking at Jamco.
Right. So the presentations is a massive part of our program. Obviously, we look to have state-of-the-art presentations coupled in the middle with one-on-one meetings at the core of what we're doing. What has been the value from the one-on-one meetings that you've received?
The one-on-one meetings are really nice. I think I get a flood, as you can reference, of emails, cold calls, and I just don't have the time set aside in my normal day to meet somebody who's looked me up on LinkedIn and might be an interest. And here, I think the dedicated format, and I find in the conversations within 5 minutes, you can kind of find if there's a match or not. If there's not a match, you have a nice conversation. If there is, then you continue that conversation when I return back to Jamco. And I think we've onboarded a couple vendors based on this process, and it goes well for me.
Yeah, and in aerospace and defense, obviously, like many other sectors, nothing happens overnight.
Yes.
So I'm sure that there's some 5-minute conversations where there's not a match right now, but that doesn't mean that moving into the future or even a different division, a different part of Jamco can't benefit. So there's ways to still open up doors and connect with the vendors.
Exactly. Sometimes it's directly with the vendor. Sometimes the vendor knows the vendor that they can refer us to. And likewise, Jamco's a large company, and I don't exactly know what we're going to do tomorrow. And sometimes you return home and you go, oh wait, I talked to somebody at the event. I'm going to reach back out and say, oh, it wasn't a match there, but now I have an application that I'm really interested in your services.
Right, and one of the feedback that I receive from your side all the time is the non-pressure. Right, at a conference or a trade show, you normally are walking around. There's a target on your back. People are trying to pull you to the booth. You don't have that over here because of the pre-scheduled meetings. Just talk about that experience, the ability to vet the providers before coming down, schedule the meetings, control the process, and how that benefits you versus from a traditional standpoint where the vendors are soliciting you through emails, LinkedIn, Sales Navigator, different tools to reach out to you.
Yeah, I think that's right. And it's funny that you mentioned the target on your back thing, because even when we go to like the industry conferences as well, we're a tier 2 aerospace supplier, and there's a lot of people who would like to do business with us. So they see your name badge and they pull you in, and then you have a conversation. It's like, no, there's not a match, but they still try to, they just have to make that sell, so they don't pull you away. And I think with this experience, you get a chance to pre-screen the vendors and say, yes, okay, really, there's a number 1 rating is I really have interest. I want to talk to this person and make sure that I talk to them before I leave. Number 2 is like, okay, let's have the conversation and see if there's, there may be a match. And then 3 is like, okay, I've already seen this vendor. I know what they do. We have enough in that, supply chain. We've got enough vendors currently, and there's not a match there. So you're able to really optimize your time in those conversations.
Right. So just one final question, then we'll wrap this up. What is some feedback that you can give for our vendor companies, current, future, that will participate in the program, from the do's and the do nots? What they should be doing in the one-on-one meetings, and what they should avoid, the turnoffs, so to speak?
Yeah, I think the one thing is to make sure that at least there's a potential for a match before you have a one-on-one meeting. I think all of our time is valuable, including the vendor's time, and you want to make sure that you have the right target. It's only maybe once or twice I've had one where it's just like, hey, I just want to have a conversation. It's like, there's no business there. I've got, I could run back to my room and check emails and have more value. So making sure that you're making that valuable connection. But I think when even if it's only 4 people you talk to during the whole thing, if it's 4 valuable connections, we do trade shows as well, and we sell to our customers. And if I come out of a trade show with 4 valuable connections, that's a win, right?
That's a massive win. Yeah. Well, thank you for that. That was very helpful. Always a pleasure, and hopefully seeing you again.
Yes, we'll do. Thank you.